I'd like to introduce our second panelist, who is also a parent, and her name is Ellie Byra.
And Nancy was so courageous when she started this a few years ago. No one had ever heard of anything like this, as are Dawn and Lynn for having us all here today. But you know, I really want to welcome everyone to the Home and Garden Network here. And you understand that this is the House Hunters portion of Home and Garden Network. I thought I would talk about my Matthew, first of all. And I have a picture, and it will probably only work for the people here. But I thought I needed to tell you about Matthew so you would understand why I chose shared living. Matt okay, that's all right, we can even put it down. Matt has been spoken of in our neighborhood and called the little man of the neighborhood. At birth, Matthew weighed 3 pounds, 10 ounces, and he remained in the hospital for months, undergoing surgery after surgery to deal with hydrocephalus. At age 9, he began using a walker and standing upright. Today, Matthew walks with assistance, but because he doesn't have good balance, he spends a great deal of his time scooting on the floor or any other surface that he seems to be on. Again, today, Matthew is 35 years old. He weighs 65 pounds and wears size 7 children's clothes. He has no verbal language, no hearing, and needs someone to care for all his personal needs, including feeding him. He has uncontrolled seizures and has very serious food and latex allergies. And this all requires constant monitoring. I have a monitor beside the bed, beside the chair. Perhaps the most difficult part, though, of his care is his inability to communicate. He's unable to tell us what he wants, and sometimes more importantly, what he doesn't want. The doesn't want can often, and usually does, lead to communicating through very negative behaviors. But most disturbing are the medical implications that his inability to communicate lead to. Having endured numerous surgeries and illnesses, we came to realize that we needed to determine what was wrong with Matthew even before a doctor's visit. If not, he would endure very invasive testing just to determine how to treat him. So maybe everyone here can see why the traditional group home with inconsistent staffing actually would be detrimental to his health and safety. And of course, why an institutional placement is absolutely not an option. In spite of these challenges, Matthew was always a very lively participant in our family. Vacations are particularly his favorite, and as he constantly involved with the family and surroundings no matter where we are. Not only has our family been important to Matthew, but so has the extended family in the community. First in middle school and then throughout high school. His neighborhood friends threw him a 20th birthday party. His basketball friends made high school a very rewarding experience. Everyone looked after him. And I have a photo that you can't see, but he is in the middle of children who he went to school with at a basketball game, And it says underneath, "Where's Waldo?" You can barely pick him out. This was the vision that I've had for Matthew, for him to always be part of a family and a community that would care about and for him when we no longer could do this. For the past 13 years, Matt has been a volunteer at Hunterdon Medical Center and Raritan Valley Community College. He currently has a very full and happy life. And so my challenge has been, how do we give Matt a safe and happy future now? Soon my husband, and he doesn't want me to say this, but will be 70 years old. And I am somewhere much younger than him, of course. And we had a very difficult decision to make. And we knew we had to find a way to keep him safe and happy. But about a year and a half ago, DDD and the Boggs Center brought in people from Pennsylvania and New York. Some of you may remember that. They talked about the shared living program that they had developed. And the more I heard, the more optimistic I became that this was just what Matthew needed. Consistency with people who cared about him and would provide him 24-hour care. We already knew the most important piece of a plan like this. It was Matthew's support person for both his self-directed day program and his Real Life Choices program. Matthew has spent time with her and her family. We felt this could be a match and make the program work. And after speaking with the family, they did too. But now the question comes, could we put it together? I decided to talk to Crystal Odell at Allies. She had taken on Matt's self-directed day program about 13 years ago, even before it was Real Life Choices. And fortunately, her answer was, sure, we can do this together. Fortunately for Matthew, DDD was ready to allow families to begin to think outside of the box, as evidenced by us being here today. We have chosen to rent a house because we have no family to oversee the future and upkeep and maintenance, as Nancy has indicated they've had to do. So we are renting a 4-bedroom home from Allies. The 4 bedrooms are needed because the family has 3 adult children still living at home. I guess we can all relate to a piece of that. Allies quickly located the perfect home in a nice neighborhood. It's absolutely perfect for Matthew. It's an immaculate home that will take care of the entire family, and every floor in the house is crawlable. Even the deck is suitable because it's made of fabricated wood. But most of all, we will have 24-hour care provided by both the husband and wife. His days and evenings will be filled with family activities. This family already understands communication issues. They will know when or if he needs medical attention. They will understand when he needs to feel in control. He needs some space, and hopefully they won't push his buttons, which I have done periodically. We know that this will be the healthiest and safest arrangements we will find for Matthew. But Matthew knows it's not the home he will love, but the life he will live there. What are the lessons I've learned by trying to do this. And number one lesson is to hold on to your vision. Your hopes and dreams may get adjusted along the way, but never abandon them. This program or model could look somewhat different for someone else with different needs, but the footprint is for an alternative living arrangement. Another thing I have learned is to find someone who shares your vision. Find someone like Crystal who says, "We can do that." I needed and still do need all the help and advice I can get. I'm getting tired. I've used all my friends as sounding boards. We do brainstorming all the time. You can't do it alone. What have been the other challenges? I think the biggest challenge has been patience. It did take 11 months to get a budget approved. But now, since Dawn has come on, we're ready to move. But in that meantime, I didn't just sit and wait. I made calls to my case manager about every 2 to 3 weeks, just to say, Matt's still here at home. Another challenge is for us all to remember that this is not a group home. And some of the rules that may be needed to, in a group home may not work here. And I'll give you one example. I did not want the house licensed. That would have meant periodic inspections, fire drills, which are not very family friendly. I wouldn't want someone inspecting my house. So we were able, with the help of Dawn and her staff, to omit the licensing provision. What are some of the other things that we need to consider? And in this case, the family is the key. It has to be a match between the person or family, the agency, and your loved one. In Pennsylvania and New York, there are agencies that vet potential people. They're able to support everyone through the process. But we're just not there yet here in New Jersey. And then, of course, the unspoken consideration is the one of just getting there. It tears at your heart. This is the day that none of us parents ever wanted to come to. But I think Maya Angelou is helping me cope with this and helping me to put one foot in front of the other. She has said, "They say you can never go home again, but the truth is you can never leave home. So that makes it all right."